Hi everyone, this is Jim from Viddybooks, care of JRB Good Solution, and today we're going to be talking about the book, the Viddy book, The Key. The key to what? Well, right now there's a backdrop picture of the universe and it looks like the Milky Way. So it's kind of like the key to everything, the key to everything in your life, the key to what's important to you. And we're going to explore that a little bit tonight. Okay? Now, um, most everybody is doing their jobs, working through their thing, trying to do their goals, trying to do stuff, but they have a lot of, different people have issues with family, some have issues with friends, maybe there's issues going on in the job, finances, marriages, dreams. There's a lot of turbulence and things that are changing, and one day if things are fine, other days things may not be so fine. Okay, and it seems like we're working harder and we're trying, we're doing this again and again, and we're trying to find our way and we're trying to keep ourselves busy, but it seems puzzling. And it just seems like a lot of people are locked up. They're locked up in this routine. They're locked up into their ways. They're hoping for things, but it just seems, that you're going through this mundane drone. I gotta work to make money. I gotta do this, that, and once in a while we get a little reprieve from all this. But it seems like a lot of people are locked up, some more than others. Some are very locked up. So how do we fix this? How do we find the key to unlock this lock that's on us? Or, and some people, well, I don't have anything wrong with me. I'm just going and enjoying myself. Well, you're locked into that. Okay, if you've ever wondered, like, gee, uh, sometimes after the fun's over, you might start realizing and thinking about where you're really at. So it just depends. I can't tell where you are at, but I just know that this happens with a lot of people. And a lot of people are just bound up in ways this way or that way. And we're going to talk about how getting free of that. So, what's the definition of key? Well, key is a device that is used as a means to gain access to something that is locked. It could be a metal key, to do a metal or on a door, but it's a device used to gain access to something that is locked up to everybody. I mean, if you're on a website, sometimes you need a login access to get it's like your username and password is your key to get into the site. So there's different variations of this key, but the key has to do with gaining access to something that's locked to most. Okay? Now, or just locked, period. And now the other uh, definition is it's an instrumental or deciding factor in determining one's success. So maybe it's a key event, a key thing that you're going through, something that is deciding about your life and where you're going. Okay? Now, you've got this picture here shows there's a key, a lock, and a door. So when we think of a key, we think of a lock, and this looks like a combination lock, so you need to know the combination to get access. But in this case, you need to unlock the door to get access. Okay? And it's just a visual representation of that. Now here, we're going to go in and explain it a little bit. These are the keys, the door, and the way to unlock what's inside of us. And all these are going to do is explain it in detail so you can see for yourself that we do indeed have a lock on ourselves. And some people more locked up than others, and some have multiple locks. But the scripture has locked up everything under the control of sin, so that what was promised being given through faith in Jesus Christ might be given to those who believe. So what that means is that the scripture is basically saying or declared that sin is locked us up. It's compartmentalized in sin. In other words, there's a verse that says, he who commits sin is a slave to sin. So even though sin might feel good, you might be having a great time, at the same time, you might be a slave to it. Some people say, well, I can quit smoking anytime I want, until you try. And I've been there and done that. And I got down to 6 cigarettes, and I couldn't do it anymore. I needed God to help set me free of my cigarette addiction. I tried everything. I tried curbing everything else. So, and this works in other areas too. Maybe there's some people that are taking prescription drugs, and then they're realizing they're getting addicted to it, and it's hard to stop because it feels good to take another one. Okay, so I mean, I've had pain medication for back injuries and stuff, so I understand just like everybody else what it does. But some people get hooked up on it. All right, there's a big opioid thing that they're trying to fight in the political realm. Anyway, so it is a real problem. So sin, and there are other kinds of sin. There's lust. There's all kind, greed. There's different kinds of sin that can lock people up, and some people don't even know they're locked up. Okay, the way you know you're locked up is when you try to go against it, and then you try to fight it and see how hard it is. It's not as easy to fight something once you go against the flow. Like the river flow might be going one way, and you turn the boat around and try to go against that flow. That's tough. Okay, so that's how we get locked up, because sin kind of is like a flowing, and we go with it, and we don't. Some of it's fun, and we don't realize it's locking us up at the same time. Now, what happens is people go for a while, and in this, and once you can get to a place where you feel helpless. You can get to a place that you can try to come out of something, and no matter what you do, you can't. So that's when people feel they're stuck. Now, Jesus said, I am the door. If anyone enters by me, he will go in and out and find pasture. That's in John 10:9. So Jesus said, I am the doorway. I'm the way out of this. Okay, and he said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father but by me. Now, he made a declaration that he was the way to the Father. There are a lot of religions, and there are a lot of belief systems out there. But when Jesus came, he made a declaration that I was sent by my Father, and I am the actual way for people to connect with the Father. Now, if you try to go in by another way, you may think you're getting in with God, or with the force, or with something, but you're not getting it. You're getting something else. You're getting a counterfeit. It may sound good, it may feel good, but Jesus made this declaration, and either he's a lunatic, a liar, or he's telling the truth. All right, now the prison cell over here, it says, and that they may come to their senses and escape the snare of the devil, having been taken captive by him to do his will. So see, at first, sin is just a temptation. It's fun, and you get led down a path that does. It's kind of like Pinocchio. He was told to go to have fun in that city of fun. They all end up turning into donkeys. So it's kind of like the same way, is that at first it doesn't seem like anything's going wrong, but as time goes on, you end up feeling captive. And it says to do his will, the devil's will. So sin can get a hold of one so much that they can end up doing his will. I'm going to go back to the first. All right, and then the jailer right here is the thief that comes to steal, kill, and destroy. And by the way, this is John 10:10, which is one after John 10:9. The thief comes to steal, kill, and destroy. I came that they may have life and have it abundantly. So Jesus came to lead us the way out and help and get out of the things that just is self-destructive and all the things that hurt us, and to help us become better people. But it's not about us becoming, I mean, it is some degree that we're going to be made holy. But God is more interested in the relationship. That's ultimately his first goal, is to learn about how to receive his love. because if you're just trying to be holy, it's like this religious monkish thing, and it just feels like you can't have anything. You have to do without everything. I mean, that's not very attractive to most people. And I think that the enemy uses that to steer people away from receiving the love of the Father. And because God loved us so much that He decided to send His Son to die for us. Now think about that. Why would I mean, if you have a son or a daughter, would you let them be killed for someone else? Would you allow that, or would you protect them? So the natural thing for our own children is we'd want to protect them. But here's God knowing the value of sending His Son, okay, because He knew that we couldn't fix this problem by ourselves. And so what He did was out of His love towards us, He made a way for us to get freed. And freed of addiction, freed of drugs, free of sex, of lust, whatever you want to put in that box, whatever it is that you may be troubled. Maybe you're just troubled from depression. Maybe people have hurt you so much that that you just feel lost, and maybe you're confused. Maybe things don't make sense. The enemy is really good at destroying our hope. We're so much hope when we're kids. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I can't wait till I grow up. But along the way, we get hit by so many things that a lot of people give up hope. They do. But God is our hope. Jesus is our hope. And God sent Him as the door. Okay? So, let's go over the key again. It says, "Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If anyone hears my voice and opens the door, I will come into him and dine with him and he with me." Now, what that means is God's going to personally interact with you. And it's kind of like when someone comes into your house and you sit down and talk with them and you eat with them. You're fellowshipping, you're interacting, you're laughing, you're communicating. There's a lot of interchange going on. So there's a knowingness between the other. And so God is saying that I stand at the door of your heart and I'm knocking. And if you hear my voice and you decide to open the door, I will come into you. I will forgive your sin. I will take all your burdens away. I'll take them into my hands. And so the real key to unlocking, which is what this Viddybook is about, the real deep down key is free will. Because God's made the offer to us. And so we in our free will can choose to receive Him into our heart. And you can see this picture here of the heart receiving inside the heart. This is the red one is like your heart. And this willingness, open hands, receiving God's heart into your heart. And that is the key to life. That is the bottom line to life. If you can do this and continue to receive Him and let His mercy come into your life, so many changes will happen. So many good things will happen. You will be able to fight against an enemy you can't even see. See, we were just fighting against the elements. I'd say have at it, go do it. But we've got an enemy, a rebellious angel that took a third of the angels with them, defected from heaven, and now they're on the earth causing all this trouble. You wonder why all this trouble's happening? It's through the selfishness and greed and all the things of man. And guess who's influencing all that? Okay? So, now you know the answer to all these things here. And the promise. If you then know how to give good gifts to your children, how much more will the Father in heaven do good things to those who ask Him? See, the promise is eternal. Grab onto it.